was really nice meeting you.
All right, thank you.
Coming up next, we talked with Emmy Armstrong. She's a Tennessee dairy farmer. She talks about how Hurricane Helene affected their farm.
I never actually thought that there would be like an actual hurricane touchdown where we are.
Yeah. How much rain did you get?
On our farm, according to our little gauge, it was like 9.5 inches or so of rain.
Yeah.
But the river, I think it like measured 27 feet.
We're here with Emmy Armstrong from Chuckey, Tennessee. Now, Emmy, you've got an incredible story, even though maybe you don't think so because it's just like, oh, it's a dairy or whatever. I've talked to you before. The things that you've gone through recently, especially with the Hurricane Helene, is pretty incredible. But let's start at the beginning. Tell me about your dairy.
So my husband and I, we have a dairy farm in Chuckey, Tennessee. His parents, they milked for 40-some years, and his grandmother milked prior to that, so it's a generational dairy farm. I'm hoping that with everything that we're doing and all the advancements and the value added, that it'll continue with our children. We have 3 children.
Where'd you meet your husband?
We met at his work. So he works at West Hills Tractor in Jonesboro, Tennessee. I was working part-time at Cracker Barrel and part-time on a farm.
I love their dumplings.
Yeah, Cracker Barrel has really good food.
Yeah, well, they're dumplings. Irregardless, yeah.
So we had a disc spine that had tore up, and so we had to take it and get it repaired. So when it was fixed, it was a Saturday, we went and picked it up, and there was Scott.
So you get married, and now are you moving in, you're just helping with the dairy, or how'd that work?
We just kind of were tossing up what we could do with the farm. So we picked up a bunch of leased land, and then right before our daughter was born, we planted a bunch of pumpkins. It was the first year we ever did a pumpkin patch. And it was like the most beautiful pumpkin patch ever. We've never got it to look like that again. I think it was really beginner's luck.
Yeah.
So then we started, that's how we did the agritourism. So then we started growing pumpkins, and we grew some watermelons. And then I started having field trips and people coming out, and we would talk about just like agriculture in general, farm life. So at that point, we decided we wanted to put a little market on our property, and we wanted to sell farm-based raised meat. And so we got a retail permit through the Tennessee Department of Agriculture.
Was that hard?
No, it's very easy. We were like, let's do like Saturday morning, we can have someone bake and then do milk. So we brought in a girl that baked some cinnamon rolls, and this was like the first weekend that we did it, and which is important to the story. And so then we brought in milk and cheese curds and stuff, and we bought this like retail cooler, whatever, from Lowe's. It was just nothing special. And we set it up, and it looked good. Like milk, cream line, non-homogenized, pasteurized, non-homogenized. And we brought his parents down to look at it. And when his dad came in and he saw the milk bottles in there, it was like something in him. He was like a kid in a candy store. And so it was maybe like a couple of days later, Scott was at work. Well, his dad had called him and was like, hey, look, if you want to take over the dairy and do that, like, I'd be open to it.
Oh.
And so that's what started us taking over the dairy. So when he told me that, I wasted no minutes.
So you're from Chuckey, Tennessee.
Yes.
So you're probably used to hurricanes.
Of
How does that happen?
Right?
I mean, were you completely taken away with that?
I wasn't really even thinking anything of it. You know, when they say, so we like grew a sunflower field, and like the hurricane was in Texas, and we got a bunch of rainfall. So because of the hurricane, I remember saying that because of the hurricane, it washed our sunflower seeds, and it just affected it. So then they were all kind of like bunched up, and it wasn't as pretty and laid out. I never actually thought that there would be like an actual hurricane touchdown where we are.
Yeah. How much rain did you get?
On our farm, according to our little gauge, it was like 9.5 inches or so of rain.
Yeah.
But the river, I think it like measured 27 feet was like the
flood level?
Yes.
Yeah.
And like where the max out. They couldn't, and it was way over that.
So, I mean, you have a dairy. Didn't that shut it down?
It nearly did. So luckily we're up on a hill and our creek did not get flooded because we live on Horse Creek, hence the name Horse Creek Farms. But it did not affect us as in the fact that it wiped us out or our cows or our parlor or anything like that. But we didn't have water for 10 days.
Which is kind of important for a dairy.
It's extremely important.
Not only that, but it washed out roads, and so, I mean...
It washed out roads, bridges. We were unable to bring our silage in, so our silo still has not been packed. We take our mixed wagon across the river to get silage every couple of days, which affects the quality of the silage.
Sure, yeah.
We're basically on an island
but you can't
with
just
the mountain background.
tell the cows, hey, take a week off.
No.
No more milking. What you do with all the milk?
Our milk truck was able to come and pick up our milk. And so they were taking milk other places. They were coming to Nashville, Kentucky. So they were finding and routing our milk other places. It's now going back to Asheville because they got that highway open. So the phone call that I received the morning after when the bridges were out was basically, you're just dump your milk until further notice. And so then I was in touch with the milk hauler, and they said that that bridge was open. They were going to be able to get to us.
Yeah, that was tragic in that area, but it was, again, rural America taking care of themselves. You said, I mean, farmers actually rebuilt some of the roads themselves just to get things going.
Yeah, it was really neat because, like, the day after, the second day after, you couldn't cross any of the bridges at that point. They were talking about having the National Guard bring us groceries and stuff in. And of course, distribution centers were set up. It was 10 minutes is what you got to get, like while you were in the dollar store, you got 10 minutes to shop. They would only let 10 people in at a time. Once all those shoppers were done, they would let more in because that, you could imagine, it was like Black Friday all over again, right? But for toilet paper. So yeah, the community gathered together. The Mennonites worked like 16 hours and they built a road that goes to a bridge so that we could get over and back and forth. And even beforehand, there were so many people with side-by-sides cutting across, and once the water levels went down, they were able to take buggy rides across back and forth of the river. Because when all those bridges started falling out, it's like the day after tomorrow, like a crazy movie. You go to one bridge and it's out. You go to another one and it's falling, and it was just, everything was tumbling. Parents were separated from their children. You know, it's a Friday afternoon, you're coming in from work. You're not thinking that this water's coming down from the mountain. We didn't get all of that from the rainfall. It was the force of it coming down from Asheville across the mountains. And so you've got people on this side of the river that can't get home. They can't get to their medicine. They can't get to their pets. You've got this people that need medicine, and the only place to get it is in town. And so it was just amazing to see, especially through Facebook, all of the stories of, hey, look, we're going to be transporting people back and forth. And then you've seen all these like thankful posts in the groups and things like that. Like, thank you so much. We got across. We were able to get our medicine. I was able to get my kids. I was able to do this or that. And so everyone really came together. No one came to rescue us. It was literally all community.
Rural America doing what we do best. It's an incredible story, and who would have ever thought that type of weather event would have hit that area? If people want to find out more about you, are you on social media? Do you have a website, emails, any of that stuff?
Yeah, so we've got all the technology. So Instagram, East_TN_farm her. And then TikTok is the same, East_TN_farm her. We've got Horse Creek Farms Dairy on Facebook, as well as Instagram. And we've got our website, horsecreekfarmsdairy.com.
Emmy Armstrong from Chuckey, Tennessee. Incredible story. Thank you so very much for being here. Thank you for all that you do for agriculture in rural America.
Thank you for allowing